wore his fedora and he always wore a suit, and so you would see him walking around campus, and it's one of those things as a student you don't think that those upper administration, the superintendent, they don't even know who you are, but he knew who all of us were. He kept up with what we did in baseball or basketball or music or drama, whatever it was. He kept up with the students and he knew who you were. He graduated from East Central's Horace Mann High School, and then he went to East Central, graduated from here, and then got his master's degree from Oklahoma State. And so I think as soon as he graduated from East Central, he went to teaching at Van Oss and taught there for 2 years, and then came to Bing and ended up staying at Bing for 62 years, which is that's remarkable in itself. During his time at Bing, he was a math teacher, a science teacher. He coached baseball. He was a principal, and then he became superintendent and served superintendent from 1965 to 1998. He knew the value of East Central because a lot of our teachers came from East Central, and so that relationship that he had and the education that he had received prepared him for what he wanted to do. And so I think that he knew all along that East Central does a great job of producing teachers, and so we could continue that relationship and have a strong relationship, that when teachers came out, we had a good chance to get them in our system, and once we did, they would be good for us. I believe he even taught some classes here for East Central about school finance. So I just think he's one of those people that everyone looked to, whether it's a legislator or other school people, just to pick his brain on what needed to be done. And I just, just the visionary leadership he had at Bing was something that it's still there today, and I think it's shown throughout the state. He spent a lot of time at the Capitol advocating for education. But from a student's perspective, I just remember this: Mr. Stokes expected excellence, and it was in every area that we had. It was, whether it's academics, we were going to be the best. When we went to scholastic meets, we were going to win. Athletics, we were going to be successful, we were going to win. And so I think he established that culture of we're going to be an excellent school. And so once we understood our expectations and the teachers knew that's what our expectations were, then that's what we strived to do, was be the best at everything that we did. The decisions I make, I look at, what would Mr. Stokes want here? His expectations of excellence, that's something I've got to uphold, because I feel like the community expects it, and I expect it of myself because that's what I grew up in. Bing was founded in 1925, and I'm the 7th superintendent. So, you look at some of that, and then there's some districts that may have that in the course of 20 years. And so, but it's not just in administration. I mean, when I coached baseball, and that's, he was a great baseball coach, and I coached baseball at Bing. I was the 7th baseball coach in the history of the school. And so the joke is, once you come to Bing, you never leave. But there's some truth to that, and I think that's one thing that makes the school system what it is because we don't have a lot of turnover. We have good teachers that come and they stay there and they want to raise their family there, and I think that says as much about him as anything, just setting that example of this is a good place to stay. I found his resignation letter when he decided to resign, and it was just a few lines, and it said, "I've enjoyed my 62 years at Bing. I hope I've helped some with the system." And I'm like, you built this system. Mr. Stokes at Bing is a legend. He built that school into what it is today, and I think even across the state, not just at Bing, but across the state, I think people look to him as a educational leader and someone who is well beyond his time and in his thinking back when he was there.